International. Listener's Letterbox.
Hello dear friends, and welcome to a fresh edition of our weekly Listener's Letterbox, the program which acknowledges your messages and answers your questions. This is Daniel Bill to the microphone, ready to take you again on another journey around the world by means of the messages, reception reports and letters we have received from you via the snail mail or the email. Another week has passed and lots of letters have piled on our desks here at Radio Romania International, and in spite of the extremely hot temperatures we've seen in Bucharest of late, letters from you are still pouring in here at our studios, where air conditioning has been functioning almost incessantly, all this time, as always, in recent summers. Many of you probably don't know that in the Romanian traditional calendar, the month of July is simply called Avan, and believe me, one could not find a more appropriate name, as this is exactly how this month is almost on a yearly basis, at least in Bucharest and in what we call here the Romanian Plain, in the south of the country. We are again in for a summer with extremely hot temperatures almost always, accompanied by high humidity, which makes things even worse. In fact, I may as well say that once the month of June passes, summer hell breaks loose here in the southern regions of Romania, where highs can shoot up to 40 degrees and even more. A couple of weeks ago, for instance, we had a real feel of 43 degrees Celsius. And when it's 40 degrees in thermometers, folks, we are usually in for real feels of 44 or 45 degrees. A real pleasure when you try to reach your office and are all sweat-drenched from the commute. If I remember correctly, an Englishman who visited Bucharest at the beginning of the 19th century described this city as hot as India in summer. Well, so much for this brief weather report. Now let's get down to work and take some of the messages we have received from you in the past weeks. The first one to acknowledge in today's program has been sent in by Tarun Sethi of India's capital, New Delhi. Here is a fragment. Hello, greetings to you all from the Indian capital city of New Delhi. I am listening to your transmissions while sending you this email between 3 and 4 hours UTC on the frequency of 15330 kHz. Today, July the 5th, 2026, and the song All of Me is playing. Reception is 5 volts simple. Very good, crystal clear reception, and now a listener's letterbox program has just started with Elena reading a first letter from Illinois, the USA, followed by a letter from Egypt and then Canada. There is always a charm in listening to Radio Romania International over the short waves. On the internet, just pure radio waves. Thanks for such wonderful programming. Hope you shall continue to be there for decades to come. Thank you very much indeed for the nice words, Mr. Tarun Sethi. We are glad you enjoyed our programs on shortwaves. Of course, we are planning to be here for the next decades at least, but we are not decision makers, you know. And speaking about decades, we invite you now to Europe to say hello to a gentleman who has been monitoring our transmissions for decades. His name is Chris Brunstrom and lives in Hamstad. Here is a fragment from his latest letter to us. Dear Radio Romania International, it's been a while since I last wrote you. On July the 4th, 2026, I tuned in to Radio Romania International at 1140 UTC on 15130 kHz and heard the Letterbox program in which you played a love song and talked about the June the 24th celebrations. I At 11:52, you finished the broadcast with a song from Banat. Reception this time was okay, but I have noted that your signal is not as strong as it used to be. We've had a period of unusually hot weather, but it is now back to normal. I suppose this is a consequence of climate change, and I shouldn't be surprised if it gets worse. I don't think we use the world's resources to actually try to improve the situation. Instead, more and more money is used to build up our armed forces to meet the threats from a number of extremely hostile countries. Sweden is one of many countries which steadily increases its military spending. What about Romania? Hello, Mr. Brewstrom, and thank you very much for your constant interest in our radio station and the programs we air. We are glad we have listeners like you. As for the increased military spending, it seems to be a general trend nowadays. Countries are investing more and more in their military facilities in an attempt to deter a potential enemy, and Romania is no exception to the rule, you know. Goran Ekminger wrote to us from Serbia the following. Shortwave reception report of Radio Romania International on the frequency of 59 and 90 kHz, July the 6th, 2026. Dear Radio Romania International team, I am writing to submit my real-time shortwave reception report for your broadcast monitored here in Serbia tonight. I was very pleased to successfully tune into your program. I would be highly grateful if you could kindly verify this report against your transmitter logs and send an official QSL confirmation card to my postal address listed below. Please find the technical details of my reception report. Date of reception July the 5th. Time of reception 1856 UTC. 2056 local time in Serbia. Frequency 5990. Transmitter site Tiganesh, Romania. Receiver ATS antenna 40 meter long wire outdoor. Signal quality SINPO 45444. Thanks to my 40 meter outdoor long wire antenna, the signal to noise ratio is highly satisfactory. Here are the specific details of the broadcast I noted for verification. 1856 UTC. Detailed news bulletin covering Romanian politics, economy and European affairs, followed by a clear station identification ID in English. 19 hours UTC. Start of a cultural feature program focusing on Romanian history, tourism in the Carpathian Mountains and local traditions. 1905 UTC. A musical interlude playing Romanian folk and pop music tracks. The audio remained exceptionally strong, crisp and readable. Thank you very much for maintaining these high-power shortwave transmission. That our signal comes in loud and clear with no distortions. That makes my day, to say the least. Thank you very much indeed, Goran, for taking time to listen to our programs and fill in reception reports. Of course, your efforts will be rewarded as it is normal with the latest EQSL in our series. From Serbia, we now invite you to accompany me to Portugal because I want to say hello and welcome to our program to Ricardo Felipe Souza of Altura Algrave. Here is a fragment from his latest email to us. Dear Radio Romania International team, I would like to submit the following reception report. Date, July the 3rd, 2026. Time 22:48 UTC. Frequency 70 to 20 kHz. And because our listeners' letterbook started in India, it will also end in that place as we have a great community of listeners in that country. So let's say hello and welcome to Shivendu Paul of Kagara, Murshidabad, West India. Here is a fragment from his latest message to us. Dear English service of Radio Romania International, greetings from Shivendu Paul, Murshidabad, Beltar, Shrota, Poribar, Murshidabad Radio Listeners Family, a registered radio listeners organization of West Bengal, India. I am a regular listener of Radio Romania International English Service. Thank you very much indeed, Paul, for the nice words and the accurate reception reports. And that's all we have time for in this program. Until next time, from me, Daniel Bills, it's goodbye and 73s.
Focus on Romania. Coming up next on Radio Romania International. Simply Folk.
Welcome to Simply Folk with me, Romania Radio. Today's music program features Adrian Stanca from Banat area in western Romania. He will be performing the song Let Me Go, My Darling.